demonstrate how you stretch the upper extremities, how you stretch the arms. And so we're going to start with the elbow, which is right there. Good job. Let it come all the way out. Yeah. So he's a little bit tight at the elbow and bringing it out straight. So I'm supporting the elbow underneath. I'm supporting the wrist. I don't want to hold his hand for this because there's so many little joints in the hand. So I'm going to hold at the right above the wrist joint. And again, you would just hold this for 30 seconds. You always want to check with your therapist, your physical therapist, to see how many repetitions you want to do. The next part that we want to look at is the forearm. So between the elbow and the wrist is called the forearm. And I'm going to look at what we call pronation, which is putting the palm down. And he has very good range there. And then I'm going to look at supination. And this is where the palm would be turned up. So it would be like this. And he has a little bit of tightness there. So again, I'm going to support the elbow. I'm going to keep it in close to your trunk, to your side. I'm going to be above the wrist. And I'm just going to go to where you say it's comfortable.
That's it.
That's it. So then I'm going to hold you there for 30 seconds. And then we're going to release that. Again, you want to check with your therapist to see how many times you want to repeat that stretch. Typically, people will tell you to do it at least once and maybe up to 3 times. The next place we're going to look is going to be your wrist. So, of course, that's right here. I'm going to hold above the wrist, and I'm going to place my fingers in the palm, and then I'm going to use that to bring the wrist back. And actually, you have good wrist extension, the ability to move your hand back. And then let's look at going down into flexion. Typically what we see is that extension is the one that gets limited at this joint, which is the wrist. So again, I would hold this for 30 seconds. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we'd let that down. When we come into the hand, one of the stretches that a mother actually showed me, which I think is really a good stretch, is first of all, I want to just check the thumb. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to look at this web space right here. And I'm just gently going to support the thumb, and then I'm just going to pull it out like that. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, 30 seconds. And then I'm going to look at the thumb coming forward, completely support the thumb because there are lots of little joints in there. Hold that for 30 seconds. You doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then now I want to look at what we call the long tendons of the fingers. And often the long finger flexors, which come from the forearm up here, get tight. So the fingers tend to get a little bit tight there. And a good way to stretch those is to take your cell phone, place it in the palm like so, and then I'm just going to use the phone, hold above the wrist, and bring the fingers and the wrist into what we call extension. You doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And again, you would hold that for 30 seconds.